choose the best way and move on as you may find other things may worth your time and you will find the meaning and you may find yourself in the sea of possibilities. 'Cause you never know what life gonna give. 'Cause you never know, never know what's gonna come. Time will go. Oh, no matter what you do, it's life. There's many things to surprise you, and you see, you will learn the lessons life have offered you. As you know, it may be beautiful. The things gonna come, and it shows how strong you are. Believe in yourself. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Those are the song that I just self-made right there. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm really glad that you made this part because oh my god, my voice sounds hideous, and sometimes I may not pronounce words the right way, and it's my second language, so it may not be the best. It may have many mistakes. It may not be perfect. Because yeah, I fumble many times. I use the wrong word. I express poorly. Generally, the way I use English right now is not the best, not optimal. But I know because of that, so I still have to practice and still have to show up, move on, get going. What background should I choose today? Well, well. Maybe take it a little bit higher, like this. Yeah, great. Okay, I hope you like this view because this has been the great. This has been the first time I used this high view. Talk about the topic of today is don't be embarrassed by the harmless things. And there are times in our lives that we cannot avoid being ashamed, being embarrassed by our own actions as anything else. So, how do we define embarrassment? Embarrassment is when we do something that is not um, suitable in the com- context of our situation. It's out of the box, it's extraordinary, it's weird, it's sudden, and it just does not fit. And as you know, that one makes us stand out and get others' attention to our own accent, to our own words. So we feel embarrassed that by that. Is of course we'll feel some kind of emotion. It's not good. Generally, like for example, when you go to the street and you suddenly stumble uh, on a rock, or you make a fool out of yourself, you dress the wrong way, you can feel embarrassed by a lot of different ways, and we try to avoid it because it makes us weird, makes us vulnerable to others' judgments, to others' possibilities of being made fun of, and that's not nice. That's not cool. We are afraid of losing our own image that we have been building up. We act. We're afraid of acting in a way that does not fit our personality. That the personality that we show to the world. As human, we all have different sorts of emotions and personalities. Like, you can notice how drastically different when you are at home versus when you are in public, right? I myself notice that, and when I'm in public, I immerse as a person, a deep thought person, a quiet one, a thinking one, um, the smart one. I try to make myself like a smart one. And while of course I'm not, obviously. Um, I try to be like normal as the best as I can. Well, actually, there are many things that I want to say to them when I want to say in some situations, but I choose to keep quiet. I choose to be silent because I know that it's safe. It's safe for me. It doesn't harm. It doesn't draw any attention because attention means people can give words about you. People can comment on what you do. People can really look into you and understand you better. But why should I be embarrassed by that? I suddenly asked myself the other day is that why do I have to hide myself, hide my true self from the world? Why do I have to avoid certain activities just to be cool, just to be fit in with people? While deep down I know that accent makes me like feel like be myself. I can be myself. Makes me feel happier. Uh, it helps me with a lot of things. Just have a better mood, maybe. But the thing is, I've always have a resistance to do those things. I don't want to do those things. And when I do, for example, I just stumble on my word. I don't know what to do. I forgot what to do, uh, something like that. And even though no one, all right, no one directly gives me comment about that, uh, directly judge me, directly make fun of me or anything like that. It was just in silent and being very normal, very cool. But always, all the time, I I think in my head, right? There are a lot of different thoughts in my head, interpreting what others think of me. Oh, how do I look to them? Oh my god, I look so stupid. I act so silly. Oh my gosh, they may think I'm stupid. No, oh shit. Oh, I'm done, bro. I will not make any friends. That's not true at all. I still can't make friends. They're still cool with me. They never say anything about that. And even when I ask my close friend, I ask my new meet friends about, hey, what do you think about the other day's circumstance of me doing this, doing that? And they just say, no, you're cool, or oh, I don't even remember that. They don't even remember that. So I just think, why do I even feel embarrassed by that? So let's take this thing in for a moment. A lot of us is like me. We tend to think bad about ourselves. We tend to make the situation worse than it actually is. Like, the problem to us isn't the problem to others. You have to understand that the magnitude of a problem isn't the same for everyone. Just take a moment and think. The only person you think about is yourself, right? So that makes others already not important to you anymore. You don't think much of them. Oh, no matter how embarrassing they are, okay, maybe some activities can be so embarrassing that you cannot even forget. But most of the time, they are minor things. They are uh, not important, insignificant moments that makes other people laugh, and they laugh not because they want to make fun, but it's just a little joy out there. Their days have been so pale, so boring, not without any color, and now there's some funny guy here, some funny situation here, and they love that. They love that really. They don't judge personally on the person that who does the actions, who does activity, who does the embarrassing things. There's nothing such as embarrassing. We just avoid doing that because we have stick. We are attached to our unique personality that we make, right? We make we self-made that personality in public that we don't want to ruin it. That's the core problem. That really doesn't matter because if you really come to think about it, you consider the pros and cons. Okay, you made ruins. What happens when you do the unexpected things that people may not have think of you, may not have thought of you doing that? Is that okay? You might ruin your image. You might not act like the way you have always been. You maybe appears weird to them. But what's gonna exchange for? Exchange for their emotion that is okay. Oh, that's cool. They see a new version of you. That should be cool, right? And they even feel like that's cool, man. And even then, even then, it doesn't really matter because, firstly, what others people think of you doesn't matter. I don't value other people's opinions that much, unless it's like constructive criticism that everyone understand, right? I don't like. I always consider. I don't now. For now, I don't even care about what others think of me anymore. But previously, I don't even consider that much about our family's opinions of me. They're just opinions, you know. They're harmless. And the message I want to share to you guys today is don't be embarrassing by don't be embarrassed by the harmless things. So for let's make the scenario here. You're about to have to make a presentation in front of the class. This is what everybody does. And every have to show up for the class. And you fear that you may forget this. I feel shy when standing in front of people for some reason. Why? You need to ask yourself why you feel this way. Now that you have really identified the emotion and why you feel that way, you may logically come to a conclusion that this might not be logical at all. This is a irrational thought. Nobody is make fun of me just because I show up. I'm not that bad looking. I'm not like I cannot speak word. I may make mistake, but everybody makes mistake too. When you come to think about it, your friends make mistake, your teacher makes mistake. Everybody when comes, they even have the worst moment than you. So what really does about that? Why don't everybody else just give attention to that instead of you? Why do they have to keep their attention to you? No, the reality is just like you, they don't care about nobody else. That makes you not important to others, and don't just because of your ego, you try to let yourself down just because you think others thinking this way or that way about you. And to be embarrassed is a negative feeling. If you like try to do that one activity, now here comes the cons, right? The cons. Well, you will be unsatisfied. That's really all. Unsatisfied activities of unfulfillment. Now, this is a very deep emotion, but it's important as well because you did not have the chance to complete this action. You did not did you throw away the chance to do that thing that you originally wanted to do, just because of some dumb reason, some insignificant reason, that later on nobody remembers, bro. Nobody remembers. If you want to make a speech in front of the crowd, just do it. Right? The other day when I joined a new club, right, a guitar club in a bigger group called the volunteer group in my school, and at that time when people collectively come to the front and introduce themselves as the new member, right? And I know, oh, it's time. It's gonna be me. I can just sit there. I can just sit there and not do anything, not come out there, not come in the front and talk. Because that is really embarrassing for some reasons. There are a lot of people in that room. I am even a introvert person who's scared, really scared of criticism, of judgment, of cruel opinions towards me. But I realized that it's all in my head. And to break this, I really have to get there. I really have to go out there. It's not like I'm going to war or something. It's just making a speech. It's as simple as that. I think to myself, oh, yeah, what if I just make myself go up there? What happens if I reject that thought inside me that talking me from against going up there? And when um, the leader comes and say to me, is there anybody who hasn't introduced themselves? I just raise my hand unconsciously, raise my hand and said, oh, fuck it. My worst fear now comes. And then I just come there. I don't really got anything special or funny to say about myself like others have made before. So I was thinking to myself, oh, I will make a worse a worst impression about me, because it's even worse because the others previous of me, they have made better impressive speech, so that makes my speech even worse. What's already bad, even worse. Then I come think and I look at people's eyes and I realize something. Do do their impressions matter to me? In the end, I I am doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I want to overcome the fear of talking in front of people. And for some reason, I have always thought that it was embarrassed. In high school, I have rarely made any presentation or crowd speech at all. I don't even have opinions or raise hand to give my opinions to the class decisions or something. And after I just got out of high school, now in college, I think back, I don't even see them anymore. They never talk anything about me. It's like I don't even exist. So what's the point? It's it's better now that I think it's better if at that time I had made some embarrassing things. I've made some impression. Don't matter if it's good or bad, it's funny or just because of my weird personality or the weird way I look, a weird way I talk. It's still something that makes them remember me. And now that I don't even see them anymore, people don't gradually comes to forget each other. I realize how does those times when I thought, oh, it will embarrass me, that doesn't even matter anymore. It doesn't even occur to me that those times have significance anymore. It's gone now. Just a memories of time of nothing, of sitting there being fear. Your memory, if you're always embarrassed, is only fear. It's only your own thoughts trying to let you down, trying to persuade you away from doing that action. Because If you haven't done an accent, you cannot consider it an embarrassment in the first place. It's not even embarrassment. You just not you're just not doing it, bro. You just avoid it. And all the things, all the outcomes never happens. It never happens at all. Like you just live all alone, sadly, immersed in all the depression and darkness of freaking hell. You want that? You want your life like that? You want your life just soaked in depression, in fear, in embarrassment. And here now's the part, the important part. Okay, you embarrass yourself. You embarrass yourself. Not even one single person. Even if they does, you will hate them back. I swear. Like when you already hate one person for hating you irrationally, their opinions do not matter to you. So there's one thing that I need you to remember is that some certain activities are just harmless, okay? Like when you make the speech, when I made that speech at the moment, people suddenly impressed by what I said. I just suddenly came up with some great ideas about talking, and I just talk fluently. I talk normally. I realized, oh my god, is that easy? Am I talking right now? Holy hell, I did. And that is when I broke the barrier. I become from an introverted person who fears talking to people, who fears making new friends, who fears adapting to new environment. Everything seems strange and new to me. I'm just a little baby who's just born into the world. No, I've been so experienced. I sometimes forget that I'm 18 years old. That makes me so much experienced, so much powerful. I can handle such much more extreme person, extreme people, extreme situations than that. And that this is all these are just nothing yet. For example, if you compare a school environment to a work environment, it's still nothing yet. A school crowd to a city crowd is still nothing yet. Everything is just relative, and when you break this barrier to that barrier, one bigger barrier at a time, you will gradually come out of your shell, become a confident person, become a person that will realize all his dreams, all his goals, who dares to speak out, who dares to make a decision that is hard, right? You have to make hard decisions, you have to do hard things, man. It may seem hard right now, but I assure you, it will become easier in the future. Like right now, I can really just come out there and make a speech and ready to take on people's judgment and criticism. Now it's good. It's a good thing. I can interact with people rather than nothing and sitting there being alone. Holy hell! I can actually make friends now. I can actually go on a new journey, new trips with them. Volunteer doing helping people. That's what youth is all about, man. It's not about sitting in one place and being stable. It's not about being stable. It's about traveling. It's about getting new experience, doing things you never tried before. There are a lot of things like when a lot of times. Okay, let's talk about the scenario. You did embarrass yourself. So what? People opinions are just people opinions, and you cannot control that thing. So there are a lot of things you cannot control in your life, and people's opinions is one of them. They can come up with the impression of you in just one split second, and you cannot change that forever. You can, you actually can, because if they're a stranger, okay, of course you're gonna go out in your life and they will not have any remembrance of you because they're just changed. It doesn't matter. Like even if you do embarrassing things, they'll think, oh, this guy is weird. Okay, what the hell? You just feel confused, perplexed for a few seconds or a few days and move on. That's it. But if that is person that you know, that know you, okay, for the best they may remember it for a few days. Then what? They will move on with their life. They have their work. They have their business to move on. So are you. You don't indulge in those emotions. You just move on your life. You got other things to do, man. You got your business to do, man. You got your homework, your chores, and to change yourself. The promise I made from day zero, you made from the start journey, that you have to change yourself. Now you do. Now it's time to take the action and do all the things you need to do, man. There's no time for being embarrassed by being getting negative feelings from the past, the activities from the past. You cannot change that, and it's a significant part of your life. When you come to think of how big the life really is, all that is just a fun little memory, bro. Really, just a fun little memory. It's all. That's all. Embarrassment is a funny feeling. Yeah, you may feel embarrassed, and if you really do want to change people's opinion, impression about you, then you just change it. It's not hard. It's it's not hard. Yeah. The next time you just come up and you would present yourself in a newer way. You'll be more firm. You'll be more funny. You'll be you make up for the past mistakes. Make up for the past scenarios when you're bad. If you're only bad in that time, you never change. People always think of you as bad. But if you change for the better, you will change people thoughts about you. Will change people impression about you. They will recognize your try, recognize your willpower, your whatever, whatever things that you wanna show them, bro. But yes, that's all I wanna say. That you don't, just don't, bro. Don't be shy. Just come out there, go do it. Doing it, actually doing it, joining something, taking on a hard decision, hard action, going out there with the unknown outcomes, unknown prediction is way, way easier than being indecisive about whether you should or should not do it. Because if you think too much, it'll become heavy, become heavier and heavier, strain on you like a big stone, become much more pressure. And the next time you do it after a lot of thoughts, it suddenly becomes something that is so important because subconsciously you spend so much time thinking about it, right? Meanwhile, logically thinking, everybody can think logically, okay? You know, that's not real matter. It's just a fun little thing. Uh, it's a part of life, and it's not how you think, bro. Everything is not the way it seems. Because just because you haven't experienced it, you haven't tried, doesn't make it objectively scary. Yeah, nothing scary. Don't take life seriously. Follow your passion, follow your goals, your way in life, your lifestyle. Just be yourself. Appreciate your health. Be yourself. Improve your life. You can just do it silently without telling anyone. Don't be embarrassed. That makes your personality much more better. You'll be much more outgoing than ever before. I don't even have to mention all the benefits here. There are so much confidence and stuff like that. There are many things you can get out from that. Like you just suddenly stop being a little baby, a little shell. You create a shell out of yourself, man. You spend way too much inside. Just go outside and do it. Just go outside, hang out with people, talking to people. Because your brain can change. It's something that is always changeable. You can adapt. You underestimate how strong, how good your brain is. It can adapt to new situations, new things, to new lifestyles, a new way. For example, the first time I get here, the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi, there are a lot of motorbikes. After many times I try going, at first time I feel scared, I feel overwhelmed by the amount of traffic rushing me. But after a while, I feel like so calm now. Now, it's just a fun little trip every time I get outside. I consider it a challenge, and I feel like it's cool. My brain just doesn't feel overwhelmed anymore. And I didn't even expect to adapt to it in the first place, but gradually, without noticing, it does change. And that applies to everything else in life. For example, now today, you don't normally read book, right? You see a thick book like this, and you always say to yourself, "Oh God, if I read one more word, I might go to sleep." But then, just every day, you try to increase one by one. Today one, tomorrow two, Thursday three. Everyone increase the amount of pages that you read gradually. You may see differently. This thick book that you think is thick from the start is so hard to read, suddenly became just a normal book to you. Everything does change after time, and I'm telling you the truth. I'm being real here. Like, don't think the way of life as still is like don't think life as something still. It always moves on, always keep going. This and after this and new start after new start, ending after endings. After ending, then there's always a new start. That's what you have to get used to life, right? You have to get used to that in life. Really take the action that you normally feel embarrassed by it. Just do it. When you feel feel the next time you feel embarrassed by something, just remember it's not really embarrassing. It's not really because this is something I noticed. Human emotions that is made up by the brain is much worse than it actually is. We're way happier than we should be happy. The magnitude of things, of these situations that gives us emotion, we always feel that emotion much more extreme. Do I make myself clear here? Like, I don't think I'm making much sense here. Anyways, you have to understand that your emotion is much more extreme than it is supposed to be. You're supposed to be feeling just little bit of embarrassment and then just proud of yourself. But instead, you just indulges on that embarrassment only, and that makes no good. It drags your life down, drags your life so drastically down, and it's no good. You identify that emotion and feeling right away that okay, I'm feeling embarrassed. But should I feel embarrassed by that? Ask yourself that, and then you realize the answer is no every time. Because nothing is shameful, nothing is embarrassing. Even if you do something stupid, that's that's a beautiful thing of life, man. We're not like a robot or something. We always make like weird things in life. Life is weird, okay? Life is weird. See you guys next month. See ya. Wait. See you guys next day because I make video every day.